Welcome to Late News. We begin with news that hit the stratosphere last week, claiming that a former Oxford student was suing the famous university for £1 million after only getting a 2-1. The former student in question is Faz Siddiqui, who, when he graduated in 2000, hoped to receive a first from Oxford University. But he claims that inadequate and appallingly bad teaching in his final year prevented him from achieving such an overall grade. In particular, Mr. Siddiqui is concerned that his 2-1 in modern history has stunted his career prospects and prevented him from becoming a high-flying commercial barrister. But the intriguing question is, if Mr. Siddiqui was aware that the teaching was an issue, and aware that his grade did not represent his ability, and that the university were to blame, then why did he wait 16 years? Because it's not uncommon for university students to complain about a whole host of things. Tuition fees, deadlines, student loans, deadlines, accommodation, deadlines, food shopping, and quite frequently, the fluctuation in the pricing of Lambrini. The point is, we deal with the here and now, whether we choose to move on or make a complaint and get shit sorted. Oxford University have considered the case to be baseless, noting the 16-year gap between Mr. Siddiqui's graduation in 2000 and his complaints in 2016. They also referenced the special allowance made for Mr. Siddiqui in some papers due to the hay fever he suffered from. Now, what's interesting about this case is that Mr. Siddiqui, in essence, is complaining that he didn't get the correct teaching and thus didn't get the grade he needed for the job he wanted. In shallow terms, he didn't receive the tuition he paid for. But back in 2000, tuition fees were nowhere near the £9,000 a year asked of students today. At most, tuition in 2000 came in at a mere £1,000 a year. If Mr. Siddiqui's case is successful, then this could easily make way for similar cases from an indebted generation of students, all of whom will be acutely aware of the new £27,000 price tag attached to their fashion, dance, life science and drama degrees, who are keen to confirm the price was worth it. Ultimately, it's pretty tricky to decide if this case is worth giving a crap about. Hearing someone complain that they only got a 2-1 from Oxford University seems every bit as pedantic as Trump's reminder that he only got a $1 million loan from his father. It's just another privileged complaint. But then equally, paying through the nose each year for PowerPoint slides copied from Wikipedia and a glossy exam paper doesn't seem quite right either. Make your own conclusions on this one and tweet us at Late News Online to let us know what you think of the whole case. Moving on to some breaking news just in. It's only nearly cocking Christmas. Let's get the decorations! Yes, it's that time of year where we drink too much, eat too much, and love to document the whole thing on social media. We kick off this section with a wonderfully wintry homage to the holidays from our favourite judgmental social medium, Twitter. It's what we like to call the 10 tweets of Christmas, because we're cheap, nasty, and couldn't quite find 12. The first tweet marks the time when Christmas films are all over the TV. Earlier this month, Love Actually started trending on Twitter, promoting someone's remark on the lack of realism in their presidential storyline. Of course, the strangest bit in #LoveActually is the gropey US president who thinks he can just grab whatever woman he likes. Just imagine that. Yeah, just imagine that. That seems so unlikely. Now, as we all know, the annual supermarket Christmas adverts have taken the country by storm, which means you're probably used to seeing tweets like this when the hype goes a bit overboard. A tweet that was sparked by this madness. But you forgive the social media shenanigans, because just occasionally, amidst the chaos of stores competing, applying emotive tactics to make you feel shit about not looking after the elderly in your area, or because you hate your family the other 364 days of the year, they manage to produce absolute works of art, like this parody of the John Lewis advert.
unfortunately, you'll also see tweets like this around this time of year, reminding us that racists and bigots are hard-working folk who don't take time off, even at Christmas. Bless them and their wee cotton hate-filled stockings. Now for the obligatory Starbucks red cup photo. It doesn't matter how massively inconvenient it is to carry that cup around with you, you just aren't white and privileged enough if you don't have a snap like this on your timeline. Took my Starbucks red cup into the National Forest today to cut down a hashtag Christmas tree. Now just how cocking inconvenient must that be? This person has taken a small red receptacle full of scorching hot liquid to the forest and will now presumably have to chop down a tree with one hand because the other is wielding an axe.
Actually, following on from the controversy the Starbucks cups caused last year, you'll probably see a lot of tweets like this, as people inevitably say the wrong thing because there is no right answer. Like this poor heathen, who had the misfortune of saying Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas, to a lady who naturally thought they were Satan personified.
And now, the Coca-Cola truck. We all seem to recognise that seeing the Coca-Cola advert on Twitter marks the beginning of Christmas, but the actual Coca-Cola truck itself is kind of a weird concept. Who's coming to join in the festivities? What even are these festivities? A truck turns up and parks illegally in a random location of a city centre, then people queue, kind of like they're on British steroids, all to get handed a free can of an ice-cold beverage on an ice-cold night, then bugger off again. What could sound more delightful? Then there are, of course, the millions of tweets about the Christmas decorations in your local town or city, and just like every year, they kind of look like Rudolph shat them out on his way to decorate somewhere nice and more affluent, like Chelsea.
Guilty of such complaints this year were the truly superb Christmas decorations in Leicester city centre, which hit national headlines for their unprecedented levels of crappiness. On the same level of unfortunate failure, next week your social media pages are going to be covered with stories of the latest Doctor Who Christmas special, which will inevitably have a bizarre and unpronounceable name.
If you're a Whovian, you'll watch it and you might even like the episode. And if you don't know what a Whovian is, then don't worry, you'll probably already be drunk when it airs anyway.
The Christmas edition of the Radio Times will also be making an appearance on your timeline this season, despite the fact that you only buy one because they look pretty, so God knows who buys them the other 51 weeks of the year.
Then that final tweet everyone's bound to see at least once before they head back to work in the new year. It's the annual appearance of the Christmas Scrooge. Shout out to the relationships that break up right before Christmas just so they don't have to buy each other gifts. Laugh out loud.
And shout out to this guy for being an utter miserable bastard.
Those are the 10 tweets of Christmas. Tweet us at Late News Online when you find the 10 tweets annoying your timeline this season.
This is Trump Watch, a brand new segment dedicated to everybody's favourite Twitter star, Donald J. Trump. Throughout the new year, we'll be taking time out from the news to keep you updated on the president-elect. This week, it's all about the Kanye.
And here's two men that actually look traumatised after being in each other's company for just a few hours. Now, just listen as Trump comes to terms with how long he's known Kanye and then attempts to form a sentence to that effect.
Kanye, what did you guys discuss in your meeting today?
Just friends, and he's a good man.
Did you
Doing
discuss
well.
possible
Long
cabinet
time.
positions?
We've been friends for a long time.
You guys discuss? Do you think that's something you still want to do in light of this meeting?
Just friends, good man, doing well, long time. We've been friends for a long time. It took him a while to get there, but bless him, when the president-elect gets all those keywords together, he can really come out with some inspiring stuff.
Trump has an uncanny knack for ignoring the question at hand, arguably like most politicians. But if Kanye runs in 2020, he could take this to a whole new level.
Do you think that's something you still want to do in light of this meeting? Kanye, are you considering performing at the inauguration? Kanye, no comment about your meeting with the president-elect. This is the president-elect of the United States. Nothing to say?
I just want to take a picture right now.
There we have it, the new standard for American presidents. Do you want to be the American president? Sure, but first, let me take a selfie.
And that is Trump Watch.
On Tuesday the 29th of November 2016, the Investigatory Powers Bill, more commonly known as the Snoopers Charter, was granted royal assent, bringing the controversial new surveillance network into law. Aren't we all thrilled?
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, but Santa has evidently decided to sell his data to Theresa May this year. Lord Evans, former Director General of MI5 from 2007 to 2013, has claimed that any outrage at the law is absurd. He essentially claims that the security services in the UK are far too busy keeping up with the likes of James Bond's STDs to actually go around spying on average citizens. However, what shocked people about the Charter was not the bizarre array of institutes that can access your data, but the fact that there is no longer the need for the suspicions of terrorism to be used to access such data.
That data includes internet browsing history that ISPs, internet service providers, will now have to keep for 12 months, meaning agencies including GCHQ, the Food Standards Agency, and HM Revenue and Customs could all know how, where, when, and what you accessed and who you messaged.
Thankfully, anyone outraged by this can rest assured you have a credible ally on your side. Porn. The porn site Xhamster is prompting its visitors to go and sign an online petition to repeal the new bill. Whether this attempt to repeal will actually work seems doubtful, but you can take comfort in the knowledge that when the Food Standards Agency checks out your browser history, they might just think you're a political activist, rather than just horny and looking for porn. On that note, thank you very much for watching. We hope you have a happy Christmas and a very merry New Year. We will be back in January, so make sure you check out our Twitter at Late News Online and our Facebook page Late News Online for more content delivered slightly earlier than usual. Merry Christmas!
So did she really shit herself?
Genuinely, 2 weeks ago, shat herself, couldn't be here today.
Really?
I actually asked her about this, yeah. I had to bring you in. That's crazy. How colossally can you shit yourself?